Welcome back. This is the last day of week 2, and today we're going to go ahead and get ourselves hooked up with Google. We're going to start this by going to analytics.google.com, and it's already got me configured for a site. So what I want to do is sign out, and I'm going to log in from my Gmail account for this guy. And you're probably going to see something like this the first time you come in. So what I want to do is I'm going to create an account name. I should already have that essentially set up at this point. So if I go in and go to, because I've set up a Gmail address, I've got it all configured. So now if I want to go ahead and create an account, I'm going to go to, now I go to analytics.com. Got to be logged into Google first. There we go. And so now it's going to ask me if I want to, this is once I've logged into Google, it asks me if I want to sign up. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I've got to give it a name, give it an address. Actually, I've got to give the site a name. I've got an account name, and then I've got a site name. But more importantly, I've got this website URL. All of these have to be done because of what Google does. So I'm going to do, there's probably some little personal, let's do people in society, reporting zone. I am in central, so I'm going to go do that. And you've got a whole bunch of, your standard checks and stuff like that they're going to start tracking on your site. Now I'm going to get a tracking ID. I'm going to accept their terms, and I am getting started. So what I need to do is it's going to come in, it's going to tell you this tracking ID and tracking info. This is important because this is going to be how they're going to keep track of your site. So now what I want to do is take this information. I'm going to go back over to my Google Analytics on my site. And it's one of the things it's going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I've got to switch it to developer mode. And then what it's going to do is it's going to ask me for my properly configured Google information. So I've got a client ID and a client secret. And you're going to be able to see that. So here, I want to do that. If I've got to come through the setup here, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to agree to it. I'm going to set up a user ID. Just take all your defaults and you do a next step, and then it's going to give me a user ID and a password. Actually, I'm sorry. The first thing it's going to do is going to get me ready to go, and then it's going to show me a user ID and a password. So we come in, we do not need to worry about, once we go to Google Analytics, we do not need to worry about developer mode. We're going to get an access code. And I'm going to make sure it's going to ask Google for it basically and say, are you going to allow that? If so, it's going to say, yep. It's going to say, copy this thing in. So copy and paste it. Once you paste it in, and you can get regular access codes on it, get those changed on a regular basis. But you can see here that this is connected only to, you're probably going to say all website data. I've got a second configuration I played around with. Once I'm done, lock selection and save changes. And I'm set to go. So at this point, it's going to start tracking some information. Let me kill a few windows here. And the next time I come into Analytics, I'm going to see something like this. And what it's going to see is it's going to show me traffic It's going to show me up here. It's going to be users, sessions, bounces, session duration. It's going to talk to me about where they've come from, so I can see what part of the world. How did they get here? Did they come through search? Did they come through Facebook? Did Twitter send it to them? Anything like that. And it's going to give you a nice, give you a nice little report of what's going on. If I were to go to, for example, let me go look at one that's out there. Let's see, this is an old one. If I can remember the Google password. Then what you'll see, and this is, once you get some traffic, it may not be configured actually. Oh, because this is the last few days. I haven't looked at this in a while. I can change it to, let's see if I had traffic in the nope, I'm not at it in the last 90 days. Actually, I don't think the site is even set up. Nope, that one wasn't even set up. So let's pick a site that was, or that is. Let's see if Developreneurs is set up. In here. Oh, I'm not looking at, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong site. So that one's not set up. See if I can get one that is. There we go. Now we finally got one that is. And you can add access to other accounts. So you can have your single Google account that has access to dozens, I think up to 50 other sites. So what you see is it provides some pretty good stuff. Like right now, there's nobody on the site. In the last 7 days, we've had a few people here that have come in. You can see where it's come from: paid search, organic search, social, direct, other. You can see some of the pages that they often visit. Like here, we can see a pretty regular, steady look at stuff. What am I looking at? Am I looking at... Oh, I'm actually looking at the Developreneur site. So you can see a steady growth. You can see retention information. This is probably the most important. What pages do your users visit? Because that's going to be the one that you're going to see. What are your popular pages? What are your popular topics? What are the things you've done that draw people and keep them there? There's a lot of information you can get out of that. And this, again, you're not going to see it necessarily right away because you haven't, you just hooked it up. And it does have a little bit of delay. So if I go out there to my site, I don't think it's going to pick it up right away. It takes a little bit, but let's find out. So if I go out there and I'm on my site, and now I go to my analytics, let's kill that out and refresh it. Oh, it did show. Yeah, so I've got an active user right now. So it's showing that there is somebody there. And I can come in and I'm going to pick. I go click around a little bit. And then kill it. And let's see if it's stored all that. No, it still has my one. So it's still processing the information. It does have a little bit of a leeway to get stuff going. But once it does, then, and I can't remember what it is, unfortunately, because it changes a little bit over time and it depends a little bit on your site. But, usually within a day or two, you should see pretty close to real-time data. I think there's maybe a 1 to 2 minute delay, some things like that. But you can see who's out there. You can see what's going on. You can, more importantly, you're going to be able to see things like this. It's going to give you information on where they went and how they did it. There's some cooler tools out there that will show you, they'll record sessions and they'll do things of that nature that, allow you to really understand what your users are doing. But for now, we're just going to go with this. We need this for several other pieces that we want to do anyways. We want to be out there on Google. We want to be registered. We want them to know that we're a site. So it helps to start with getting the analytics configured properly. There's also a Google search that we will address and getting yourself configured in there properly and submitting sitemaps. That will do it for the daily classes of week 2. Over the next 2 days, you're going to get a couple. Really, what we're doing this weekend break is going to go in and customize your site, spend a little time on it, change up some images, change up some colors, start making it look presentable. Basically, make it look how you want it to. You may want to change up your themes, and then from there, spend some time starting to think about what are some good articles to provide that would bring users to your site. Whatever it is that you're trying to, whether you're selling a product or selling content, whatever it is, there's got to be something that's out there that would draw people to your site. That is some content you can offer. So if you're selling a product, maybe it's review of similar products, things like that. Start thinking along those lines and start giving yourself a little list of articles to write, because that's what we want to end up doing, is writing at least an article a week. And by article, I mean probably, minimum 350 to 500 words. Just get ourselves in that habit. It helps us in a lot of different ways. Most specifically, with this site, it's going to start giving some reasons for people to visit us and hopefully buy whatever it is or pay for whatever it is that we're pushing, or at the very least support our advertisers and allow us to make a few bucks here and there. That will do it for now. Have yourself a great day. Have yourself a good couple days off, and we will see you on the next other side. We will be starting with day 15. And we'll get into some more advanced stuff that we can do with the site we've created. Until then, have yourself a good one.